And we're live. Usually you say that, but whatever. Hello, this is video number 2 for our IPL, what is it?
IPL5 caster application, we'll say.
And this one, the last 2 videos, aside from the first one, we decided to do without watching the games, just to give you guys a feel of how we do completely live. So we're just basically pretending that this is a completely live cast.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just start in the top corner, top spawn location. We have Complexity's Killer in the blue Protoss, and his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, actually bottom middle corner, we have Liquid Tasia playing as the red Terran. And my god, I love Tasia's play. He actually just played in the GSL, and a little bit of a spoiler alert, but he actually won, and it's amazing.
I gotta say, I love Team Liquid. Who doesn't love Team Liquid?
That is true.
Shout out.
But we've actually casted quite a few Complexity tournaments, so Complexity Killer, I know for a fact, is extremely good at PvT.
Quality player, quality player. By the way, he is Stoic Regret.
Oh yes, and he's Stoic Nuvo.
And we are here casting for IPL as an application. Cast Pajamas, hope you enjoy this.
And everybody else. And once again, we want to apologize for the sound quality. We just did this because if we casted replays at different locations, there'd be sync problems. So we sound about 20 times.
Live casting, we do use headsets. So
sounds a lot better. Or live, we sound better live too.
All right, Killer, doing a little SCV harass with that probe.
Yeah, one thing I want to just mention, PvT as of late that I've noticed has really involved the Terran player taking a no-gas expansion. So this is really different for me to see Liquid Tasia actually opt for a gas refinery build, because Liquid Tasia is really known for his macro-style play, especially in this matchup. I mean, Complexity's Killer here, as we can see, is doing a very standard build. If he doesn't take this gas, then it will be super standard. He'll probably be going for that one Nexus, one Gateway build. But I don't know. This is really weird by Tasia. I was expecting him to do a no-gas opening, and look at this, a little bit of deviations out from the front. Complexity's Killer is building a pylon here, and I have no idea why. Oh, I do know why he's
blocking that tech lab.
That is the smartest thing I have ever seen today.
Fantastic play by Killer. You know, I've never seen that before.
That is actually spectacular.
I really
look
enjoy
at this. I love what Tasia is actually doing here, building his factory out of place so that Complexity Killer will not know that it's there. And this is actually a really good thing to do. We don't know if this was reactionary because he wasn't able to build the tech lab here, and we don't know if this was actually his plan to go 1-1-1 in the first place. And it does look like that is exactly what he's doing. He's adding the second refinery, and this means he's going to be doing a little bit of one-base play, probably in the benches.
No expansions coming out here from Tasia anytime soon. That second gas is just going to allow him to tech, sacrificing a little bit of econ.
But as I was saying, just to kind of verify my doubts about Tasia's opening, I think he was trying to do a 1-1-1 style build, because like I said, if he's doing that normal macro-based style in TVP, he usually goes for a 1 rack CC build with no gas. So
that's why I love that play by Killer, blocking that tech lab.
But I mean, he didn't scout the factory because Tasia smartly built it away from the vision of the pylon. So I don't know if this is going to affect the player's play. As we can see, he finally gets rid of that SCV, which will allow him to place down this Nexus. Being pretty greedy here, he actually is only going with one Stalker and no Zealot, but he did get that pylon into Tasia's base, so he did know that no aggression was going to be followed.
Opting for a Sentry as his second unit of that gateway, and
I definitely think that's a good thing. You really want to minimize the amount of Stalkers that you build in PvT as a Protoss player in the early game, because Stalkers really are useless, except for actually scouting information. So definitely the better play here.
Here we have Complexity Killer moving down the map with the Stalker, allowing him to get a little bit of scouting, information, but he's not going to be able to see much because he's not going to be able to get up this ramp.
But one thing that he does see that is quite huge is he knows that Liquid Tasia does not have an expansion, so now, considering he blocked the tech lab, or obviously reactor, the barracks being placed down with no expansion right now, it's almost certain that it's a 1-1 build, and as we can see here, reactionarily builds that robot. So.
Robo down, Cloak on the way, I mean, it looks like he should be fine by the time these gold Banshees arrive.
Oh, definitely will have an observer out in time, and with 3 gates powered up with Warp Gate research finished, he will be able to build enough Stalkers, I think, to hold this off. But look at this, Tasia being a little ballsy here, moving out of the map with just 6 Marines, and instantly Killer sees it. Excellent reaction time. Saves that Stalker. Actually, that Stalker can do quite a lot of damage here because Stalkers are extremely good against Marines.
Just weakening those Marines is huge.
And
might I just say, Complexity Killer's build here is seamless.
It is.
He does not miss a beat.
Standard. Yeah, as you can see, using all of his chronos on his Nexus, probably going to end up chronoing this facility here for that first observer. And that observer is so key. And here we go. Look at this. Banshee's going to make its way into the main base. But Cloak research just finished. This is such good timing. That observer is not out yet. Will he go in? No, it looks like he's going to be safe and try to wrap around here so that the Stalkers can't attack it. But look at Complexity Killers. He knows exactly where the Banshee is going to come. And now it's going to come down to the micro of this Banshee. Can he get enough probes? And oh, I love this positioning.
The observer's out.
But look at that, Banshee is actually able to maneuver its way to safety. And look at this, a little bit of a deviation again. He's building a third command center, Sean.
How many probes was Teja able to kill there?
4, and I honestly don't think that's enough.
You know what? That Cloak is a huge investment. I mean, he just... Oh, here we have 2 more Banshees moving across the map, though.
Yeah, and the difference between 2 Banshees and 1 Banshee is exponentially different because Banshees are so powerful. Look at it. It's going to take out this sentry so quickly, and losing sentries is absolutely horrible. But will he be able to kill this Banshee? No, he does not. Excellent Cloak. That was a... See, that's the thing I like about Cloak. I mean, Cloak can be countered if you have vision, obviously, of the Cloak Banshee, but just because Banshees are air units gives you the mobility to kind of run away and use Cloak as a defensive posture.
Yeah, and if they shoot a volley off, I don't know if you knew that, but if they shoot a volley off and then you Cloak while the volley's in the air,
or move,
it doesn't actually do any damage.
Exactly, or move, right? If you shoot the volley off and move. So, excellent play there by Teja. He actually has quite a few Banshees. He has 3 Banshees on the field, and it looks like he's going straight into mech with a little bit of bile. Actually, only has 1 Rax right now, and it does not have a tech lab, so there's no way he can get stim or
you know what? He can get away with this, though, because those Banshees allow him to keep Killer in his base.
And that's been something we've been seeing a lot of, especially in ZVT and ZVP nowadays. ZVT and TVP nowadays. Terran players are really utilizing the strength that Banshees give you in terms of map control to kind of take that early expand as soon as possible. And it looks like this game, it is going to work out. Complexity Killer here, however, does not look like he's going to be opting for any type of pressure build. Taking 2 Forges and clearing the rocks to his 3rd base and getting Colossus Tech up. So it looks like he's going to be going into Colossus Tech with a bit of gateway support, and he's probably going to place down his 3rd here very soon.
I love that double Forge play as soon as you get your natural up and running. Teja's still here producing Banshees. Hasn't lost 1 yet. He's going to have quite the force if he keeps maintaining those Banshees.
Yeah, but the thing I'm really worried about for Teja is his army is really strong. There's a nice mixture of bio and mech, but he didn't have this tech lab on this Rax for so long. Like, look at this stim research just starting to begin at 10 minutes and 50 seconds in the game, and it takes 170 seconds to complete.
What are your thoughts on that Raven?
I honestly think that if you're going to invest to build 3 Banshees, it means that your starport is going to have a tech lab on it for so long. So switching into Medivacs doesn't really make any sense because not only is the switch into a reactor starport going to be so late, but Medivacs don't exactly help mech units at all. So going with the Raven definitely is really good for point defense drones, for killing observers, for possible DTs, and just because Ravens are so damn awesome.
I think they freak me out. They're robots, you know.
Ravens?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the picture right here. It's actually a guy.
It's a robot.
Oh, back to the game, guys, and there are 4 Banshees in the
One Stalker down.
Let me just say that even though he has Banshees countered with this Observer and this Cannon, when you have 4 Banshees, it doesn't even matter if your opponent sees the Banshees. They are going to do some kind of damage. Because
all that mining time gone.
Yeah, losing probes, losing mining time. Oh, a little bit of a mistake by Teja. Oh! And will he lose 2 Banshees? No, loses 1, but definitely was not paying attention at that moment. And that could be quite huge if he lost 3 or 4 Banshees.
I'm surprised he got out of there with only using 1 Banshee, actually.
Man, look at this. He does not know about Complexity Killer's base yet. Already setting up with photon cannons just in case the Banshees come and harass here.
That is too many probes, my friend. Count those.
Too many probes?
No. I mean at the 3rd.
Oh, well, 61.
Way oversaturated.
Oh boy, that is quite a bit. But we're going to have to -6, obviously, because of the SV guys just being placed up. Because as we all know, Protoss needs gas so badly. And just as I say that, this little tiny mistake by Killer.
Oh, you need that gas.
And I love when pro players do this, always sending out units to try to take the Zalnaga caverns, but a little bit of a mistake. I don't think 2 Marines can take out a Stalker, especially because the Stalker is more upgraded and
a little bit of hull damage, so.
One thing that is so good for Killer right now is he was able to take his expansion before the Terran player, and as a Protoss player, if your expansion is placed down before the Zergs or the Terran's expansion, you are definitely in good shape.
Teja adding on a lot of racks this
And
year.
a fourth command center already. And look at this, Tech Lab, and Reactor. His production is going to be through the roof. Already at 136 supply to his 122 of his opponents. Definitely going to go up. And just mentioning an Artosis Pylon randomly.
I think he learned this macro from Rhett.
Just instead of building drones.
Look at that Air Force.
This is really interesting, actually, because this Raven not only will allow him to kill the observer.
Point defense drones.
Yeah, it will allow him to kill the observer and will allow him to place down point defense drones. So, an interesting strategy on paper. I think this can do a lot of damage if that observer gets sniped. There is no vision here for the Protoss player. We're going to have to watch this observer. Will he kill the observer? Oh, those stalkers are actually not that good against this many Banshees.
Look at that point defense drone.
Will he kill it? He's going for it and he snipes it. This is huge. I have never seen anything like this before. This is so intelligent. And look at this. He is supply blocked and he's building a Colossus. I think he has to cancel this. I really think he needs that observer there. He really... Oh, no, never mind. Just as I say that, his second observer does arrive here.
So smart of Teja. Just go for the probes on gas there. Slow down that gas mining. I mean, when Complexity Killer here is trying to chrono out Psystorm, Templar, Colossus, upgrades, he cannot afford to take any time off mining gas.
Exactly, and it looks like Complexity Killer, even though being a little pressured here, is continuing to build up a large macro lead. He's even setting up to take up his fourth base, and this is ridiculous because Protoss players on more bases than Terran players, my goodness, I don't even know what kind of a scary army this Protoss player is going to be able to afford later on.
Teja's money's getting a little high here, suffering from the classic supply block.
That we all love and enjoy. Big drop coming up. And I just love this Air Force. It gives him so much control whenever he decides to actually place these Banshees at a location. It just forces Complexity Killer to be there with a ton of units, or else he's just going to lose a lot. And look at this beautiful play, using the Raven to his utility, now even dropping with units, and there are a ton of Colossus here. But will he use this opportunity to attack another base? And what are these two tanks doing? Two random tanks in the middle of the map being killed by one Zealot. And I don't think that was a success. He was able to force Killer to put his entire army into this location, but did not take advantage of the fact that his army was out of place. And
free tanks there for Killer.
He might have been giving them away, because as we can see, he is not continuing tank production. His factory's not even landing. So.
Good reaction time there from Killer on that drop. He only lost one pylon. Almost lost a Colossus, but kind of pulled through in the end.
And I definitely should not be fighting here. Complexity Killer's army is so much larger. And here comes the Storms. Is he going to be using Storm? His Blink research is not researched yet. But there are so many Skeletons, so many Colossus. Oh!
Look at that Psystorm.
I love Storm when it comes to Terran units.
My.
Oh, man. I don't think he even needs Storm at this point. Yes,
feedback on those medevacs.
Yeah, smartly using his Templar for feedbacks, because he realizes that he can fight this army straight up now, and backing up a little bit, but I think this is just a little bit of a safe maneuver. Actually, no, never mind.
Play. Killer's army's getting very small here.
Yeah, one thing we actually missed was these Vikings, although their counts were quite low, did manage to kill off all the Colossus, but look at the banking minerals and gas of Killer, and look at his ability to take an additional base when Teja has not even started his fourth. It is, well, actually, he's going to land in a very weird location.
You know what, though? Teja's production is through the roof right now. 27 Marauders, 13 Marines, 3 Vikings, 3 medevacs. This is just out of control. That's a scary Terran army.
You know, one thing that I'm going to critique a little bit about here is Teja is actually not producing that many Vikings at a time. But he has scared Complexity Killer into thinking that Viking production can go through the roof. So as you can see, the bulk of his army is mostly Templars and Archons and Charge Lots and not that many Colossus. And an excellent drop here, able to do some damage, but I don't think he's going to do anything to this expansion. And this is bad news for the Terran
units there, but other than that, not much.
He needs to be careful. He has Blink. He definitely has Blink. Is he going to go for it? It looks like he can possibly get this medevac, and he's able to get it. Able to get away with one, but this is actually the empty one, so bad news for Teja right now.
Teja is taking the map like a boss right now.
He truly is, and I love this expansion location. It's not even a planetary fortress. Look at how many balls Teja has. Taking this expansion right in front of his opponent's base and taking another base at the far location. That means that if Killer goes for one, the other one is very likely to survive. And as we can see, the worker counts 81 to 65, but he has a gazillion mules, and by gazillion I mean 6. And that means he has a better econ.
Yeah. Teja now starting Cloak for some Ghost production. Looks like we're going to go into, and those EMPs are going to be crucial against this high-tech Protoss army.
Wow.
Colossus, Templar, Archon.
Look at this
Need
shot.
that
He's
EMP.
3 almost. It's
Oh.
huge. 3-3, and he's only 2-2. Not even close to being 3-3 for the Terran player. And I don't know if they engage here. It's definitely in favor of the Protoss player. He has Storm, he has Colossus.
Whiffed on that storm.
It is so good of Tasia to not fight in that location. I think if you go into a Protoss player as a Terran player with a Zelnaga Cameron, it is so much easier for them to just storm you and so much more difficult for you to actually dodge them. So, and look at this.
A little bit of denial there for Killer on this expansion, which I like that play, but I mean, he could just drop the mules elsewhere.
But it did lose mining time, and maybe this was a little bit of a mistake by Tasia putting this fourth base here, because if it was
Could have
placed
been an
over
orbital.
here, exactly.
Or sorry, could have been a planetary fortress.
Or he could have just placed it here, I think, and he wouldn't have to lift off. But as is, both players are pretty much maxed. Killer has a ridiculous bank. Look at that, 1,500 gas. That is so important. That means he's going to be able to rebuild Templars, rebuild Archons, rebuild Colossus.
This is going to come down to the EMPs, I think, or the Psy Storms.
Excellent scan by Tasia. He knows where his opponent is, but again, Killer has the Zelnaga, finally getting rid of that Zealot. My goodness, he had that Zelnaga forever, and that is just so huge for the Protoss player. But look at this Bioforce. That is the most scary thing a Protoss player can ever look at in this matchup. Tons of Medivacs, tons of Vikings, a lot of Ghosts, and a crap ton of Marauders.
Look at those Aretha Franklins. That's what I call Marauders.
Nice
6 Ghosts out, all getting quite high on their energy.
Actually, he wasn't able to kill that many SCVs, and I think you can't do that with a Planetary Fortress here. So good job by Tasia building a Planetary Fortress. And look at this, landing his orbital command center again in this risky location. But here comes another fight. A huge stem, and Tasia catches Killer out of position. Those Colossus are going down. Will the Storms work? There are so many Archons. Where are the EMPs? I don't see any more Ghosts. Did he lose all of the Ghosts?
I think he got, no.
Oh man,
Got his EMPs up.
But there are just so many Marauders, and there are no more Storms, and when there are no more Storms,
this is going to be it. Killer cannot reproduce that
yeah,
early.
156 to 92 supply, even though Killer has a ton of banked minerals, there's no more amulet on those Templars, so he can't just warp them in and storm right now.
Warp in Storm would be so sweet right now, but Killer
trying so hard to micro that Colossus, but I don't think it's going to matter. The Colossus is going to go down, and that is pretty much the last DPS unit that Complexity Killer has. He's overstimming, he's going to the main, he's going for the Artosis pylon, but it doesn't even matter.
Oh, that's called an in-control pylon
and
now.
that's a GG. Excellent play.
Sick game. Sick game.
Liquid's Tasia.
Alright, we'll be back with Game 3 right after this.
Oh, whoops. That wasn't a replay, folks.